From the kitchen to the front line of activism, a new documentary explores the life of Vertime Smart Grosvenor.
Here with more on her enlightening film, Travel Notes of a Geechee Girl, is Julie Dash. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Great to have you here. Now, this film is based upon Grosvenor's best-selling book, Vibration Cooking.
Yes.
But who exactly was Vertime?
Vertime Grosvenor is a wonderful, amazing culinary anthropologist. Some people call her a culinary griot. She was a roving reporter for NPR, the radio program. She had several cooking shows on television. She has a slew of best-selling books on cookbooks, and she's an actor.
Does it all, basically.
She does it all, yes.
Well, what was it about her and her story that made you want to tell it?
Well, I'm a filmmaker, and I have a film called Daughters of the Dust. And prior to making that film, I read Vertime's book, Travel Notes of a Geechee Girl, and it was like, this is interesting. I'm Geechee too, and no one really talks about it in my family. So let's pursue this and let's find out more about this lady and why she calls herself a Geechee girl.
What exactly does that mean, to be a Geechee girl?
Well, the Geechee Gullah people are descendants of enslaved people who lived along the Atlantic coast in the Sea Islands of the South. And there are a lot of us who live in New York as well. And they have a wonderful tradition for cooking, religion, motor habits, all these things. We're African Americans, but different from a lot of African Americans who come from perhaps Mississippi or Alabama or Chicago.
And why do you think a lot of people in your family didn't talk about it or didn't mention it? Was there any shame or family secrets there?
Yes. About 20 years ago, to be called a Geechee was not a nice thing. But now we realize that it's something to be celebrated and to be very proud about.
With regards to the cooking, what type of cooking do the Geechees do?
Very traditional. It's not really the soul food that we're familiar with. It's more like Afro-Atlantic traditions with a lot of okra and vegetables and seafood and very much a lot of West African style of cooking.
Sounds good to me, right? Making us hungry. So tell us a little bit more about the research process and the filmmaking process, and how long have you been making the film so far? Well,
we started about 6 months ago, and we started like interviewing people that she's worked with or performed with, like Hugh Masekela, some of the people from the Sun Ra Orchestra, people from the Black Arts movement like Sonia Sanchez and Quincy Troop, and new culinary anthropologists like Jessica P. Harris and Psyche Williams-Forson. So we have a lot of people still to touch bases with, but she's a fascinating person, and we're going to bring her to the world. The world should know more about her.
Well, what was the most fascinating thing that you learned yourself while working on this documentary about Vertime?
That's a very good question. I learned that Vertime Grosvenor was a beatnik in the 1950s, and she traveled to Paris and was living as an expatriate in the Beat Hotel with William Burroughs and Ginsberg. And I didn't know that.
Wow.
Very interesting.
And what do you hope people will take away from this film?
I hope people realize that to be young, gifted, and black means many things. You could be whatever you choose to be, and just to pursue a life of excellence and travel and new experiences.
Now, as a filmmaker, female filmmaker, obviously at the Oscars, usually, we don't see a lot of women being honored. It's an ongoing thing, a continuous thing. So what do you think needs to change for women filmmakers to be recognized in Hollywood? Well,
I think that, filmmaking feature films is a high-risk venture business. And so I think that now with the success of Selma with Ava DuVernay's film, I think people realize that, yes, we too can make films that are profitable and that are entertaining and that matter.
You think there are going to be more opportunities now?
Well, I hope so. Definitely. I would hope so.
Well, what drew you to filmmaking in the first place, and when did you first begin?
I began at the Studio Museum of Harlem back in the late 1960s.
What was it about film?
Yeah, it's all about film.
No, what was it about film that drew you in?
Oh, that you could control worlds.
Oh. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
You like to be in control.
Yes, yeah.
And this is actually your first feature documentary.
Feature documentary,
Yes.
but I have other feature films.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what has the experience been like for you, and how has this been different to your other feature films?
Well, it's well, you're dealing with reality,
Yeah.
and so you really can't take too much dramatic license, even though I'm taking a little bit of it. You're dealing with reality and with, and I'm learning a lot. I'm learning much more than I usually do with a dramatic film.
Well, I'm excited to see it. When can we catch it? When will it be available?
2016,
Okay.
coming to a theater near you.
Oh, I'm excited. Anything else we need to know about you working on?
Well, we're going to have a fundraiser this evening at Mandiba Mist in Harlem.
Okay.
And everyone's welcome to come
right.
and talk more about it and hear about it.
And those proceeds are going to go towards...
Towards the documentary, yes.
All right.
Okay, very nice. And just tell us why the audience should come out and watch this film.
You should come out and watch it because it's great. It's exciting, and you'll learn something new. And you'll enjoy Verta Mae Grosvenor.
All right. Thank you so much for being here with us.
you.
And good luck tonight.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you
we'll be
so
right
much.
back with more Rise 360.